It's a random Monday and the worst version of yourself wakes up. The first thought that he gets is to scroll on his phone. Well, he ends up being a slave to his thoughts and then starts scrolling. He scrolls for about an hour, gets out of bed, brushes his teeth, eats some junk food, which is absolutely bad for his health. He goes to his job, which he absolutely hates, then he returns back home, and now he says that he's tired, and then he starts scrolling on his phone again because his mind wants to scroll on his phone, and the cycle continues over and 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 over again. Well, the worst version of you has no kind of fire inside of him that wants him to win. But the best version of you wakes up on the same Monday morning, and the first thought that he gets is, I have to hit chest today. Like, I have to go to the gym. I have to work today. He gets all those kinds of productive thoughts, and he rushes out of bed, goes to the bathroom, brushes his teeth, gets out of the bathroom, does the productive morning routine, and then he goes to his work, which he absolutely loves. If it's his business, if he's an engineer, doctor, he does all those kinds of things that he's absolutely great in. He runs back home from his work, obviously, and then his mind starts creating thoughts which are more productive than the ones he had in the morning. And he listens to his mind because he knows that the thoughts are productive. And at the end of the day, the worst version of you and the best version of you have lived the same day, a random Monday. But the worst version of you has made zero progress towards his goal. But the best version of you, has made an absolute great amount of progress in his desired goal. And if you take a common look at both these narratives, it's very clear that I mentioned the thoughts in their minds. Well, the worst version of you did not realize the importance of his thoughts, but the best version of you has sat down, studied about his thoughts, about the way his mind works, and how to control his thoughts, and how to make his mind create more productive thoughts. But the worst version of you lacks the knowledge of controlling his mind and making his mind generate better thoughts, which will help him to be successful. My name is Kanish Raman. In this video, I'm going to teach you about a few methods which you can use to clear your mind from bad thoughts and help your mind to generate very productive good thoughts which will help you to be the best version of yourself. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel because in the future you'll be receiving videos similar to these. So first of all, before I teach you how to control your thoughts, you have to understand what your mind is and how your mind works. Well, if you were to connect your subconscious mind, your conscious mind, and yourself in different ways, I will give you a very simple example which you can remember. Okay? So imagine your mind as the engine of a car. Like, imagine your mind as an engine, and imagine your body as the outer part of the car, the wheels, the doors, and all the other things. And imagine your thoughts as the fuel, petrol, diesel, CNG, and all those other types of fuels. And let's say that your car is a car which is designed to work on petrol. Like, the engine is designed to work on petrol. And if I put diesel inside of that vehicle, the car will not work. The engine will break down, and if the engine breaks down, the car will lose its value. If the car loses its value, then the car can't be drivable. If the car can't be drivable, then what's the use of a driver being there? And the driver is you. Like, always remember this example, okay? Like, the same way, your mind and your body are created for greatness. Everyone is absolutely made to achieve great things. Because we're all humans, we have a mind which is similar to everyone, and our mind is created to work on good things. And our mind is a learning machine. What it continuously does, it keeps doing. So, all these years that you have lived in your human life, you have allowed your mind to be filled with negative thoughts. Negative thoughts that come from outer sources. So why do I say that you allowed yourself? It's because the driver in the car is the one who decides whether to put petrol or diesel inside the car. Similarly, you are the driver of your life and you have to decide whether to put petrol or diesel inside the engine of your life, which is your mind. And let's assume that for this example, let's assume that petrol is the good thoughts and diesel is the bad thoughts, because your mind was created to work on good thoughts. Because good thoughts will lead you to a good life, bad thoughts will automatically lead you to a bad life. So that's how your mind works. What you allow it is what it takes inside of. What it takes inside of is what it gives as a command to this body. And this body absolutely works based on the command of your mind. So, how do you get control over these thoughts? Well, a few years ago, 1.5 or 2 years ago, a teacher once told me that I was a bit not aware in the class. And I took that personally and I actually tested myself to check if I was aware. And I was absolutely 50% not aware. So, what happened was, I decided to take upon the habit of meditation. So, I started doing meditation. And meditation absolutely helps in controlling your thoughts. Because the moment you start to meditate, you start to look inside of your mind. Like you close your eyes, you look inside your mind, you start to breathe in, you breathe out, you do all those things. Thoughts start to come in. And meditation helps you to analyze what are good thoughts and what are bad thoughts. Because currently your mind is filled with both good and both bad thoughts. But it's like a cluster. You can't find what is good and what is bad. So meditation is a simple tool which helps you to find what is good and what is bad. It helps to keep your mind in one place. Right? It helps you to separate the bad thoughts from the good thoughts. So if you know what is good, then you can easily throw the bad things away. So the first way to make your mind generate good thoughts and better thoughts is to start meditating. And the second thing is also another form of meditation, but it's not a thing that you sit and do for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's something that you must do your whole day. Like from the moment you wake up till the moment you go to sleep, you must do this. And what is this I talk about? I call it thought labeling. What do I actually mean by thought labeling? What does the word label mean? To name something, right? As kids, we all have stick labels on our notes, on our classwork notes. And we have written the type of classwork note it is: science classwork, English classwork, language classwork, maths classwork on that label. And what I want you to do is to do the similar thing but with your thoughts. Like, take this as an action step. Sit down with yourself in a place with no phone or no TV or no nothing. Nothing should be bothering you. It should be just you sitting there. And all I want you to do is to just observe. Like I'm just telling you, you are not meditating, you are not focusing on something, you're just observing. You have to let the thoughts just go by. And when you start observing, the next thing that I want you to do is I want you to name those thoughts. Because your mind is like a child, as I said, it's a learning machine. It's like a child. It doesn't know what's good and what's bad. It takes in what you continuously put and it gives out what you have already given it. So, start to name your thoughts as good thoughts and bad thoughts. Like with meditation, it helps you to just take a look at what's good and what's bad. It helps you to take a look at the thoughts that you're receiving. But here, you are labeling the thoughts with names. Like if you get the urge to scroll social media, the next moment you have to stop. Tell your mind that this is thought that will not be very much productive. And this is thought that will lead me to be lesser successful in my future. Because the time that you use social media can be put into other productive things. So, you get the idea that once you get a thought, you have to take a look into the thought and you have to act upon it. Most men fail to have this capability. All of them work based on their thoughts. Like they are a slave to their thoughts. And most of us are, unfortunately. But when you take control of your thoughts, and let's imagine you actually took control of your thoughts, and you start to feed your mind only good things, and your mind starts to give you good thoughts, then you are a slave to good thoughts. And then obviously, if it's good thoughts, it doesn't matter if you're a slave to your mind. Then if it's good thoughts, you'll have a good mind and a good life. But if it's bad one, you'll have a bad mind and a bad life. So start labeling your thoughts with names. It can be simple as good thought, bad thought. You don't even need to like put a big sentence, as I said. Just a small, once you get the thought to go to the gym, label it as good thought. Create more thoughts like this. That's it. You become the observer of the thought instead of the victim. If you're on a diet and you want to eat a cake, all right, if you want to eat a cake, and then you tell your mind that, like, let's label it as a bad thought since you're on a diet. Like, bad thought, don't create more thoughts like this. Then you become the observer. I'm just telling you to name your thoughts as good thoughts and bad thoughts, because that's the only way in which you'll have an understanding over your mind and how it's currently working. So if you know how your mind is currently working, then you can actually start to create new and better methods in which your mind must work. Okay, so the two concepts that I mentioned in this video are simple: meditation and thought labeling. I hope you understand why you must meditate every day and why you must also keep labeling your thoughts as good or bad. Remember this: if you don't control your mind will control you.